Yes, after the arrival of the Prime Ministers of Cambodia, also scheduled to arrive also the Prime Ministers of Malaysia and some of the ASEAN leaders, including the Prime Minister of Laos, that's scheduled to arrive at 4 and 10 p.m., and followed by the President of the Philippines at the 4:50, and also Prime Ministers of Singapore will be the last figure to arrive here in Labuan Bajo today at 6 p.m. Local time. So now we going and moving out to Arya Siddhartha on the place who has a report. Arya Siddhartha, what do you have for us? And tell us where you at now.
That's right. So we're currently at the venue for the ASEAN Interparliamentary Assembly here in Labuan Bajo, one of the many side meetings that will come to support the ASEAN Leaders Summit that will begin tomorrow. Now, for this assembly, Speaker of the House Puan Maharani will be the representatives of the Indonesian Parliament and will be meeting alongside her counterparts, her ASEAN counterparts from the the 9 Southeast Asian nations that will be in participation. Now, of course, that is all except Myanmar, who are excluded from political discussions due to the current ongoing conflict there in the region. And this Speaker of the House, Puan Maharani, will be speaking on the issues of mistreatment of migrant workers across the ASEAN region, as well as will push for better protections for those migrant workers in the future. Now, this is off the heels of a recent case in Indonesia where 20 Indonesian migrant workers were victims of an online scam which led them to be trafficked and stuck in Myanmar, forced to work under inhumane conditions for a very long time. Those 20 workers have since been rescued, however, but the momentum stands as a push towards better protection for migrant workers, not just for Indonesian workers, but also workers across the ASEAN region as well. Now, the results of this interparliamentary assembly will be conveyed to the ASEAN leaders in the form of suggestions for certain actions or policies that need to be prioritized, which will those suggestions will be coming in for tomorrow. Now, aside from the Asian ASEAN Interparliamentary Assembly, there are other high-level, ministry-level meetings that have concluded today, namely the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, the ASEAN Politics Security Committee Council meeting, as well as the ASEAN Coordinating Council meeting. Now, all three of these meetings were concluded earlier today at the Ayana Hotel, and the results have yet to be announced just yet. Well, when they do, we'll update you on the details regarding these closed meetings. Now, in regards to what we do know about the meetings that have occurred, the foreign ministers meeting reportedly addressed, of course, the main issue of the Myanmar situation and the implementations of the 5-point consensus in that region. Now, of course, Myanmar themselves are excluded from political discussions and the political decision-making of this year's summit due to the failure of the implementation of the consensus and the ongoing conflict there in the post-2021 coup d'etat. And aside from that, the other meetings that were concluded earlier today was also the ASEAN Political and Security Council meeting, which was co-chaired by Minister of Foreign Affairs Retno Marsudi, as well as the Minister for Politics, Law and Security Mahfud MD. Now, this meeting concerns the improving and strengthening of regional security in the area, which undoubtedly, of course, also concerns the migrant worker protections that is being discussed in this interparliamentary assembly as well. And of course, the final meeting that occurred in Ayana, one of the three and final of the high-level ministerial meetings being conducted, was the ASEAN Coordinating Council meeting, which discussed a continuation of the senior officials meeting that was concluded yesterday regarding the ascension of Timor-Leste as a full member of ASEAN, as the 11th member state, regarding the requirements that Timor-Leste needs to fulfill in order to gain that full membership. Now, Timor-Leste themselves are participating in this ASEAN summit as an observer state, a status that was granted to the Timor-Leste nation in last year's ASEAN summit. Now, for more updates, please stay tuned as we bring you as the events unfold. Back to you.
Arya Siddhartha and Dian Merdekawati, thank you for the report. Those were the C Today Update special coverage for the 42nd ASEAN Summit 2023 live from Labuan Bajo. My name is Aditya Warman. See you on the C Today Updates at 2 p.m. and noon. Bye-bye for now.